Welcome to Fireside Chats. Just real talk, real faith, and the moment God meets us in. I'm glad you're here. Let's talk. This episode actually started after a message that one of the preachers at my church, Robbie, preached about Jonah a couple of weeks ago. As I was listening, something in me clicked. I realized how needed it was to just sit down and share my thoughts with you, raw and unfiltered, the way that Fireside Chats was meant to be. And honestly, this is where that whole idea was born. You know, when I think about Jonah, I see a man who knew exactly what God asked him to do. There wasn't any confusion. God said, "Go to Nineveh." But Jonah went the opposite direction. He didn't stumble into disobedience. He bought himself a ticket to it. He paid his own way to run from the will of God. And that hits home, doesn't it? Because a lot of us have done the same thing. I know I have. We know what God's calling us to do, but fear, pride, or comfort make us head the other direction. We run, then we wonder why the storm comes. The storm that hit Jonah's ship wasn't random. It wasn't bad luck. It was divinely appointed. God's mercy in motion. God sent it, not to destroy Jonah, but to stop him. Sometimes the chaos in our lives isn't punishment. It's mercy. God knows the path we're on won't lead to peace, so he'll shake things up to bring us back to ground. But here's what really gets me. Jonah didn't pray when the storm started. He didn't pray when the sailors were panicking. He didn't pray when they threw him overboard, or even when he hit the water. He didn't even pray when he got swallowed by the fish. He waited until the third day inside of the belly of that fish to finally call out to God. 3 whole days sitting in darkness in that slimy, suffocating silence before he finally said, "Lord, I need you." And I can't judge him. I've been there too. I've spent my own 3 days in that place. Maybe not literally, but those seasons where I knew exactly what I needed to do, I still waited. I tried everything at first. I thought I could figure it all out, fix it, or maybe even outlast it. But eventually, like Jonah, I had to face it. God, I can't do this without you. Jonah 2:7 says, "When my life was fainting away, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came to you." That's powerful, because even in the belly of the fish, God hadn't forgotten him. The fish wasn't punishment, it was protection. It was grace in disguise. God gave Jonah a place to pause, to think, a place to remember, and to pray. And that's often how redemption starts for us too. We think we're stuck, when really, God's just given us space to stop running. And when Jonah finally prayed, everything shifted. He remembered, and he stopped pretending. He realized that mercy was still available. And then he made a vow. "What I have vowed I will pay. Salvation belongs to the Lord." And that's the turning point. The moment Jonah's heart changed. The Bible says God spoke to the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry land. In other words, when Jonah surrendered, God released him. Sometimes deliverance waits on our surrender. Maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe you've been in your own storm, your own fish belly, holding out, trying to do things your way. But here's the hope. God's not done with you. He's not mad at you. He's waiting for you to remember him. Because even if it is day 3, especially if it's day 3, he's still listening. And when Jonah finally prayed, God heard him. And that same God who commanded the storm also commanded the rescue. So right now, wherever you're at, maybe it's time to stop running. Take that breath. Remember the Lord. Pray and let him turn things around. Because redemption doesn't begin when you're back on your feet. It begins the moment you look up from the belly of the fish and say, "Lord, I remember you." So thanks for sitting by the fire with me. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who might be in their own storm. And remember, no matter how far you've run, God still knows exactly where to find you. See you next time. Love y'all.